Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to talk about Bray Wyatt and some recent comments that he made in regards to Roman Reigns' Universal title reign. Now I appreciate I'm a little bit late to the party, you'll probably be fully aware of the comments made, but we're going to go through what that means for the future, potentially with Bray Wyatt moving forward, and it'd be really interesting as always to get your thoughts and opinions. So get down in the comments section. Do you think that Bray Wyatt is going to come back to WWE ever? Do you think the comments made, which we're going to go through in a moment, mean anything for the future? Again, always great to hear your thoughts and opinions. And you come out with some wicked ideas, by the way. In my last video on Alexa Bliss and her new gimmick and returning at the Elimination Chamber, some of the comments are absolutely fantastic about fantasy bookings and what you'd like to see from WWE. And I reckon they should hire a lot of you, to be honest with you, because their creative decisions would be far better. But that's another story. So what went down? Basically, in a nutshell, a wrestling journalist made a comment regarding Roman Reigns, blowing some smoke up his arse, basically, saying that if Roman Reigns defeats Goldberg at the Elimination Chamber, and then he said Oldberg, and let's face it, he will. Just imagine if he didn't. The internet would break. Roman Reigns' historic title reign comes to a halt via Goldberg in one spear, or one jackhammer, or is it a suplex? Remember the one on the Fiend? So, safe to say that's going to happen. And he's basically saying if that happens, Roman Reigns has defeated every single Universal Champion from the past. Now we know that's not true, because Roman Reigns did not defeat Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins actually won that match via disqualification. Roman Reigns went nuts. He got DQ'd in that matchup. He did not win that matchup, and Rollins wasn't impressed, basically stated that it was fake news and was pretty angry. Whether that's kayfabe or whatever, we don't know. I do hate the fact that they've abandoned that storyline as well, by the way. How good was that match? That was awesome. Best part of Royal Rumble, in my opinion. And we also know that Roman Reigns did defeat Braun Strowman and The Fiend back at Payback in 2020. However, you can understand why Bray Wyatt is pissed because of the fashion and the way that it occurred. He wasn't pinned. In that matchup, Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman went absolutely at it, hammer and tong, had a fantastic matchup. And then Roman Reigns saunders down to the ring via some dodgy shenanigans with his contract through the help of Paul Heyman, picks up the win through pinning Strowman. So The Fiend was not pinned, although technically, officially, he did lose the match because it was a triple threat match. However, the manner he lost that match in was pretty unfair, and many people feel that Roman Reigns hasn't defeated The Fiend, and that chapter is open, and it's all open for The Fiend to come back to WWE and get his revenge on Roman Reigns. Now, in summary, what I read from this, it could go one of two directions. And let's be honest, at the moment, in the wrestling world, anything can happen. I mean, if you told me a month ago that WWE would be in contract negotiations, Cody Rhodes' camp would be in contract negotiations with WWE and return after leaving AEW, I'd never have believed you and would have given you a Stone Cold stunner. And talking of Stone Cold, I never have believed you if Stone Cold would potentially be coming back to wrestle in the ring, because we could be seeing that in WrestleMania 38. Madness. So, with that being said, you cannot say for 100% certainty you're never going to see Bray Wyatt return as The Fiend to WWE or return in any shape or form within WWE. You can't. But, you take it with a pinch of salt. You'd probably say, yeah, he's just a little bit annoyed. You could also look at it another way and go, actually, he's probably disgusted still with WWE. He doesn't want anything to do with them. It really, really felt like a kick in the teeth, that comment from that journalist. And he has no intention of going back. He might not have any intention of going back to wrestling at all. We don't know. We've got to respect Windham's opinion. And we've got to respect what he wants from the future moving forward and understand that whatever decision he does make, it's the right decision for him. It's so easy to be selfish as fans. We want to see him back. Of course we do. If we had our booking fantasy, we'd have had him back at the Rumble or any time approaching WrestleMania to get his revenge ultimately on Roman Reigns. However, he's maybe looking at it going, look, the company, last time I was in that company, they booked me questionably to say the least. I lost to Goldberg when I was massively over. I had a dodgy matchup in a Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins. I've said this a billion times on the channel. Losing to Orton on the grandest stage of them all with no payoff and some questionable bookings. You got to understand there that he's probably going, look, I'm not ready yet to come back. I might not ever come back, and I'm genuinely pissed with WWE. Or there's that open book of a return. And Vince McMahon can be very persuasive. Money, I don't think is going to be that much of an issue. If anything I could take from Bray Wyatt, wrestling is his art. It's his escape. But you've got his loyal Firefly fans that he's probably listening to. Initially, there was this wave of people wanting him to go to AEW. But over time, the dust has settled and people have had time to calm down. Things can be booked better a second time around. Now, yes, this is WWE and we know about the creative decisions as of late in general with the product. But if you look at Cody Rhodes as an example, you can guarantee Vince McMahon is going to push Cody Rhodes to the moon to spite AEW and make the product better. Now, you think all the criticism he had when The Fiend was released, or Bray Wyatt, should we say, was released on the 31st of July of last year, he could turn all that round by creating that mega signing, re-signing of that alter ego in The Fiend and getting him back in business and back where he belongs. But there's always that up in the air question of would he commit and follow through to some good booking? And trust Windham 100% creatively with that character moving forward, because it could be so exciting. So exciting. Imagine, we all know that Bray Wyatt is going to be at WrestleCon, at WrestleMania weekend in Texas. Is that a sign? Have there been negotiations? Could we see him show up at WrestleMania? And just imagine it. 100,000 plus fans there if they sell all the tickets. Be amazing. Just imagine the pop. But what do you think ultimately? Do you think that is Wyatt's way of just being like overly pissed with WWE and like he's washed his hands of them? Or do you think he can let bygones be bygones, make peace with Vince McMahon? Again, we don't know fully the ins and outs of what happened, and return. Be interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching the video. It'd be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in another video.